So I was journaling today, and one thing that came to mind that I think that humans go through this womb effect. Womb effect meaning if it's something not in my immediate environment or something that I understand during the context of that particular culture, anything outside of my womb doesn't exist. Anything outside of my womb um, is a figment of my imagination. And I really think that that is how culture interacts with each other. Because my culture is something I grew up with, that means I'm not open to understanding someone else's existence. And that, however, I've been taught all these years has to be the only option. And it's not even saying that you have to take on someone else's culture or even agree with what they're saying. But the fact that we only have our own wombs, our own culture, our own bubble, if you will, to go off of. And sometimes just testimonies of people that came before us in previous generations. But how did someone else get to where they were? What was their story? And to completely reject their culture because that wasn't your culture, it's not only disrespect, but you instantly tell them that their existence has been a lie. And imagine how you would feel if someone was just as cunning, as clever with their words to convince you that what you believe has been a lie all these years. So with that same compassion, with that same empathy, when talking to someone with a different worldview than your own, that should give you enough context on how to interact with someone who may think differently than you. The womb effect makes you think that you have the exclusive rights to God, and that God doesn't get to choose who he interacts with. I think that God created everything, and he doesn't need a human to prove his existence. He doesn't need a human to tell the world who he is. I just think that we all have our encounters in our own ways. And some of us choose to embrace that encounter, and some of us choose to reject that encounter. And that encounter meaning that we all know deep down that none of this is by chance. None of this is fake. None of this is a simulation. Everything that we encounter in life, we've questioned why things are the way they are. We always ask the question, why does it matter? Why does it matter if I exist? Why does it matter if I chose to kill myself? Why does any of this matter? If there's nothing after this, why does it matter if I continue? So I think that is the ultimate question, because when you get to the nitty-gritty of it, this existence only matters if there's a purpose. And if there's a purpose, then that means nothing's by chance. And if nothing's by chance, that means everything that we see has an intention. It's trying to teach us something. We're not here just to exist. We're here to learn. We're here to sustain. We're here to create life. We're here to motivate people to want eternal life. So the very minimum, the bare minimum of everything that we have grown to learn about, hear about, everything that we are here to do is to take back truth, analyze it, and spread it. And I just think that when we talk about religion, when we talk about anything regarding faith, we are trying to understand how we can communicate with a world that we can't see. And we're hoping that our religions can shape our mindset. It will shape us. It will help us cope with the fact that we don't know the answer. Every religion is trying to cope with the fact that we don't know how we got here. We're trying to cope. We're trying to understand. And it gives us peace when we hold on to the truth that we decided to hold on to. And the only way we'll know who's right is when we decide we don't want to play the game anymore. Or when God says our game is over. So, in the womb, a baby is given food through an umbilical cord. A baby is given nutrients, shelter. But once it's time for the labor process, once it's time for contractions, once it's time for the due date or the birthday, that environment no longer becomes essential to that baby's survival. That baby then outgrows that womb. The baby outgrows the womb. And then after that, it's birthed into a new world, a world that that baby has no idea on what's going on. All that baby knew was the womb. And the womb effect would make them deny that there's life outside of that womb. Life outside of that womb is earth as we know it, is civilization, it's culture. But that baby knew nothing about it prior to being born. So I think that's how we are with our cultures. We are born into a culture and we deny anything outside of our culture. We have a religion and that's all we know. But we're hoping that the journey that we take sends us to the right place. Which is why I don't think that there's a such thing as religion. I don't think that it matters. I don't think that someone's spiritual journey has anything to do with God. I think anybody's religion, if they truly seek God for themselves, doesn't matter what religion they start with. It only matters that they find the true God in the end. Endure to the end. Every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that Yeshua is Lord. I think it's time to admit that we have to outgrow the wombs. We have to outgrow the womb effect. It's not a religion we're seeking. It's God that we're seeking, using religions as tools to further understand a world we can't see. We can't help the culture we grew up in. We can't help the culture that we currently live in. But I believe that anybody who genuinely seeks the Creator will eventually reveal himself. And though we gave God names, the only name he gave himself is I am. That's all he named himself, is I am. Who should we tell the Egyptians that you are? What should I tell Pharaoh? Tell him that I am. I am. I am love. I am everything. So I think it's time to stop caring about these titles. God didn't create any of these titles. Yeshua didn't create Christianity. All Yeshua did was reveal what love is. He just revealed it through his actions. And through his actions proved who he said he was. And he says that before Abraham, I am, signifying that he is one with the Father. If you've seen Yeshua, you've seen the Father. And if you deny him in front of other humans, he would deny you in front of the Father. So the only thing I care about is Yeshua. I don't really care about none of this religion. I don't care about theology, seminary, none of that. Because at the end of the day, if none of these philosophers ever existed, God would still be who he is. All I got to worry about is my relationship with Yeshua. All you need to worry about is finding out who Yeshua is if you don't know him. Yeshua doesn't care about religion. Yeshua only cares about how you treat his people. Because if you treat people wrong, you are treating him wrong. We're image bearers. So that means an image bearer is connected to God. And you're affecting him when you negatively affect somebody else. We're all connected. We're connected. We're all connected. So I just encourage anyone who's listening to take to heart that it's not religion that we're trying to grab a hold of. I mean, yes, religion has given people structure, but with structure comes corruption, and we lose sight of everything. So we need to really seek the Creator, and the Creator will reveal himself. It's all about him. It's not about anything else. It's about him. And our journey on earth is like a school. It's a school to teach us how to love.